Remind me, one day this week, we got to do the Rosie audio, because she has a lot to say about this.
Oh, good.
What is she mad about? The fact that fucking Leno, they wanted her to guest host on Fridays, and Leno said no, because maybe Leno didn't want to fucking have other guest hosts, and he wanted to be the only face there. What is Rosie bitter?
How do you know that we have that clip?
I didn't know you had that clip at all. But I mean, what else could she be fucking mad about?
Why wait?
Now let me tell you my little Jay Leno story, okay? So It was pre-May 95, okay? That's what I know for sure.
Absolutely.
It was pre-May 1995.
Whose cunt was she licking then?
Exactly.
Whose cunt was she licking back then? Was that old girlfriend or the new one?
She just sounds fat. Jesus.
She really does. Was that when you were
shit.
was that when you were still looking at the trade centers before the awful U.S. government knocked them down?
Yeah,
you
is that
fucking
it?
fat blithering idiot.
Lunatic.
It's amazing. I'm mad at her, and all she did was say pre-95. Why don't I shut up and listen? Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
It was pre-May 1995. I was doing the touring company of Grease that was about to come into Broadway, and Brandon Tarnikoff came to see me do that. Bobby thinks that it wasn't that it was my stand-up tour.
I think it was just stand-up tour.
Okay, but it was one of those two things, that I was performing in a large venue.
Exactly.
And he came to see me.
You can
with my
only
agent,
perform
Lisa
in a large
Shapiro.
venue.
And he came back, and at the time, Leno had started in 93, and he wasn't doing well. So I think it was about 7-8 months after Leno started.
Mm-hmm.
And the ratings were not good, and there was a lot of controversy because, Jay had that woman manager. Remember, what was her name? Someone
Helen.
help me.
Helen Kushnick.
That's right. Helen Kushnick. She was an unhappy woman and not very kind.
You're a
and she had
bundle of
only
joy
one goal
and a
in
lot of
life,
fun
and that
to
was
people.
Jay Leno's advance.
Phony.
So happy you hate her, Ann. So fucking
She's
happy.
a phony.
She really is a fucking phony.
That whole
Pretty brave to come out of the closet after the huge success with your daytime
the
show.
queen
Real
of
fucking
nice.
brave.
Remember that? How they were talking about what a nice. Isn't Rosie so nice and
Real
her
fucking
talk
brave.
show's so nice and it's pleasant. It's so refreshing to see a nice show and stuff. Shut up. What a fucking Jekyll and Hyde she is.
You're a bullshit eater just like the rest of them.
Oh, bullshit eater.
Yes.
What else?
A lot of pizzas.
Jay Leno's advancement. So his ratings are bad. And Brandon, and he said to me, we'd like to offer you the Friday nights like Joan Rivers did for Johnny. We'd like you to do that for the Tonight Show. And this, like Conan said, was my dream. I'm thrilled. And so after they're making the deal, they're doing the money, Brandon calls me to say, Jay Leno won't agree. I said, what? He said he won't agree. He said that he doesn't want to take any days off. He doesn't like vacations. All he wants to do is work. And they can't force him. And I was like shocked. Like,
Dude, stop this 1 second. Right? What an asshole Leno is to not want to take days off and work.
Yeah.
What a dick. And it didn't work. What a terrible plan Jay had. What a terrible plan. Maybe had he put that fucking giant fucking corn muffin in on Friday nights, the show never would have succeeded. He's been number one for 16 years. It worked. All she's doing is saying that Leno was 100% right to proceed as he did.
Wow. With a good work ethic.
They almost threw the fucking fat broad in.
She's complaining because Jay Leno wanted to work.
Yeah, the nerve of him. What an asshole. He wants to go there every night and work? Yuck.
She does an hour podcast for SiriusXM.
Oh, Leno's terrible.
How about you work? How about you work full time at this? How about you start there?
Force him. And I was like shocked. Like, you got to be kidding me, right? What is 1 day a week? What is he afraid that I'm going to do good and take over the show and he's going to lose his job?
Oh, maybe he was afraid that you would do terrible and hurt the show even more as he was struggling. Whatever he was worried about, his worry sure paid off.
Yeah. Well, she's going to tell you why the show is bad.
Oh, cool.
The show that was number one when he was taken off the air.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So here I was offered to do Fridays like Joan Rivers, and he's the one who said no. So Bobby and I, where were we working? In Vegas?
We're in Vegas.
We were in Vegas. I was in Caesars, the showroom, the big room. And Bobby answered the phone, and it was Jay Leno, right? And I said I didn't want to talk to him, right? Remember, I kept saying no, it's not there. And he knew I had a show. So I kept calling, right? And finally Bobby goes, you have to take it. So I took the phone and go, what? He's like, Rosie, I just want to say, I'm sorry about that. They didn't ask me. If they had asked me first, I wouldn't have had them say anything to you because, I like to go, I like to work. I don't like to, I'm like, you know what, Jay, you're selfish. I said, and this is what...
Do you listen to
the fuck is wrong with this
here's
fat
a guy,
soul?
first of all, that didn't have to do shit. He has the decency to even call up this fucking piece of shit and tell her, look, this is what the deal is.
Was Rosie maybe she was. Was Rosie giving up 1 day a week on her show when she was doing the daytime show?
I don't think
Maybe she... Hey, Rosie, how about this? How about this, Giver? I'm a comic, And I met Rosie once, and she was actually very nice when I met her, so I shouldn't be
Good for you.
motherfucking her.
Good
But
for you.
how about this? How about you give me a piece of the money you're making from SiriusXM and a percentage of your show? How about that, Mrs. Selfless?
That sounds nice.
I would like a piece of your show.
Yeah.
When she was hot in daytime TV, you think she would have said, agreed to someone coming in and doing 1 day a week for her?
He's selfish because he gets the Tonight Show and he doesn't want to give 20% of it to you because you were good in Greece?
Yeah.
What are you, fucking nuts?
Take that, fatso.
But I mean, do you understand how
I love it.
Have I ever complained that a comedian wouldn't give me a piece of his fucking gig?
God, what a delusional.
How fucking the nerve
what?
of you.
We're all in with this audio because there's a few more clips here.
You know what, Jay? You're selfish.
Yeah,
I said, and this is what's wrong with your show.
Selfish.
You're too selfish to thank Johnny Carson on the night you started. He drove that bus for 35 years. That is not your bus, Jay Leno. You're lucky enough to be the driver.
Can you pause that real
Has
quick?
nothing to do with it.
I agree
retard
that was a
sitting
mistake.
behind the driver.
I agree that was a mistake not to thank Johnny. And I think Jay, I don't think it was his selfishness. I think he listened to his manager and he shouldn't have. And I think Jay admits that he wishes he had thanked Carson that night. That was something where I think that he listened to Helen and he never should have on that one. That's what my memory of that is. And I agree. That was something he probably would have could he go back and do that again? I guarantee you he would do that again. He would do it better.
Lucky enough to be the driver. Has nothing to do with you. No, Rosie, why do you say that? Come on, kid. I mean, come on. Why do you say that? And then, of course, I proceeded to not do his show for many, many, many years.
Wow.
And I
And he
don't know.
became
I just
number
thought
one.
he was a selfish guy to do that. Right?
Yeah, but you did a show before.
Yeah, he's a terrible, selfish guy. He wants to work. He wants to work. He takes a show, he makes it number one, and he wants to stay there. Really selfish guy.
Doesn't
Not
wanna
like
give
you,
her the
who
show.
fucking piggybacks 9/11 and blabbers about it to get herself some attention. Shut
Yeah.
your face.
Nice.
Shut your face.
You want more audio, guys?
I'd love more audio of this, but I want a piece of Rosie's show. Can somebody Twitter her or whatever? I'm sure she has a great Twitter. I would like, because she's selfless, and I'm a funny guy, I would like a piece of her show. I would like to get paid for it and a percentage of it. If she does a 1 hour show, I would like 20% of that because she wanted 20% of Jay's show.
I don't even know
Take
how long her
off.
show is.
No idea. She shouldn't be selfish. She should give it to you.
She does a 4 hour show. That's 240 minutes. Maybe that's 48 minutes. I would like 20% of it, just like she wanted 1 out of 5 nights, 20%.
You know what else I can't stand about her?
What?
Visual aspect, but the fact that she's been nothing but an anti-gun advocate for years and years and years, yet her bodyguards are armed to the teeth.
That's selfish.
That protect her and her children.
She's selfish.
They're armed, and she knows they're armed. They carry firearms, but no one else is allowed to. What, if you can't afford your own security staff, then you shouldn't be able to defend yourself?
Rosie's protection is
she's
more important than
a
yours.
She's a hypocrite.
I think it says an awful lot about what he must think of himself. He must have the lowest self-esteem.
Who's this broad?
The lowest self-esteem to say, no, I can pilot the Tonight Show without you?
Who's this broad?
Who's this broad who got it completely wrong? He had complete self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's complete self-worth.
She's really
He must have the
vindicating
lowest
him.
self-esteem in the world if he's that threatened.
I don't know. I just think that he only has one thing going on. He didn't go to college, right? He's like a stand-up comic. His dad sold insurance door to door in Harlem or something, and he's a working class blue collar guy. And this is what he did. He started doing stand-up, and then he got married as he was young. He's been married a long time. They don't have children. I don't think he has a big social life. I don't think he's got a lot of friends. I think he and his wife, and he's got a lot of cars. And I think if you only do one thing like that, the concept of that one thing going away is shocking.
She's probably right
to
about
hold
that,
on
yes.
so pathetically.
Yeah.
Hold on so pathetically. Where's the holding on so pathetically come in?
And she's a kook. She's the nut job with the fucking mommy issues and everything. Why not bring up your past and run through your upbringing in Comac?
Shut up. What a jealous fatso. You're fucking jealous that he didn't want or need you. And you know what? Had Jay bombed at the Tonight Show and been booted, maybe Rosie would have a great point. Sorry. He became number one.
It worked.
And stayed there for 16 years.
Yeah.
So he knew having you on that show, and look at the way you turned out on The View to be a loose cannon, he was smart. He probably saw that in you and realized you weren't good enough. And I'm not saying Rosie isn't funny or she's not great at again, you got to give credit. She had a tremendously successful show. And I like the fact that she talked a lot of shit about Michael Jackson. You can't say she stinks. But the reality is he wanted to do it and he didn't need or want you, and it worked.
And she brings too much of her personal agenda to whatever forum she has. In some places it works, it's good. In others, like The View and things like that, she has an inability to be open-minded, this woman. A complete inability to be open-minded at all.
You know what I think is pathetic? She thinks Jay holding on to his gig is pathetic. I think it's pathetic that you have to have a radio company build a fucking studio in your house just so you can continue being heard. Why not just go out and do stand-up?
When did she start looking...
Cheaper than the fire department knocking a wall down to bring her in every day.
When did she start looking like Kathy Bates from Misery?
Oh, she's fucking horrendous.
That is an icy fucking
so bloated
stare.
and fucking just...
She said Jay was selfish for not wanting her to host 1 out of 5 nights. Dude, I am literally speechless.
Yeah.
I have never heard such a delusional asshole.
It's amazing.
I guess Colin Quinn was selfish when he hosted Tough Crowd for not offering it to Norton on Fridays.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I'll agree
It's
with that.
shocking, but, to hold on so pathetically, so desperately, and to think that you have the right to do that in a franchise that's been on for 60 years, to a guy like Conan, who for 17 years worked for that company. I don't know, man. I think he's got balls, and not in a good way.
Yeah, but I bet so do you in a good way. Physically. Yeah, Jay,
what are you talking about?
Conan's been there for 17 years.
Right.
And that's great. But she's not saying 1 ounce of how Jay did the job. He was number 1, and then he shouldn't have wanted to leave when he was number 1, and how dumb it was to want the number 1 guy to leave. The fuck is wrong with this woman?
So Conan, they basically say, okay, we're going to cancel his pathetically lame 10 p.m. show, right? Now, ever since Conan's been on the air, what has his lead-in been?
That's the other thing. He didn't have a chance.
If he had SUV...
But
you don't get a chance anymore, you dumb media fucking bitches.
But do you understand that thinking right there? He didn't have a chance. I agree. Conan did not have long enough. But why are they saying Leno's show is pathetically failed and not saying he didn't have a chance? You biased asshole. Can anybody look at anything fairly balanced? I am pro Leno, and I admit Conan did not have enough time to really get rolling.
SUV, Law and Order, and all of those things leading him in. He would not have the ratings issues that he has now. But you know what? They cut their own Achilles heel, NBC. They said 6 years ago, they're like, Leno's boring, which frankly...
Leno's boring.
He doesn't...
They didn't say that.
Yeah, that's what they said. He was number 1. They said he's boring.
They didn't say that. They didn't think he could sustain the ratings in another 5 years. They never said he was boring, you stupid fuck.
And Rosie, no one's talking about your radio show, by the way. I asked somebody, when is she starting? And they're like, she started. There's no buzz.
So you want to talk about buzz, and you want to talk about a boring show. I don't see them talking about Rosie around the water coolers around here.
Nobody. Let's throw a watering hole.
which
Then they're like, here
frankly,
she is.
Leno's boring.
He doesn't have a lot to add. He comes up and he does obvious jokes about nothing emotional. He's robotic. His humanity is not very present when you see it, right? You look at Conan and you're like, here's a smart guy who's taking risks, who's doing new things, who's got children and a life and a whole, I don't know.
Children.
I just think to myself,
her fucking idea of having any self-worth is that whole child thing. Like, because and it's been documented through the years, she said it herself, she's a manic depressive mental disaster area who had to adopt children in order to feel complete as a human fucking being, because she's got such a horrific self-image. So she's like analyzing anyone else.
And she's saying Conan's more of a complete person because he's got a marriage and he's got children, and I guess Jay doesn't have kids for whatever reason. Him and his wife didn't.
Yeah.
How about, here's something Jay has that you don't, a marriage that worked.
Yeah,
How about that?
Oh, shit.
How about that? Jay's in a fucking marriage that works, and you're not. So I guess you're not a complete or whole person.
Yeah.
Shut your fucking inconsistent mouth.
children and a life and a whole, I don't know. I just think to myself, Okay.
But you would think, a career is about reinvention. Look at all.
Well, it has to be.
Exactly.
Really?
All the great careers are about reinvention, and that's what he's flatly refusing to do.
A career is not about reinvention. A career is about succeeding at what you do and loving what you do.
And sustaining.
And sustaining.
Which Jay was doing.
And if you want to reinvent, you reinvent. Seinfeld wanted to leave, so he left. Conan's not. How is Conan reinventing? He didn't change his show. From what I
And
heard.
not only that, when they tell you 6 years ago, like, they have to tell. They told Joe Namath at one point, guess what? We're gonna have
Oh, my God, a sports now.
She's just
this dummy.
the worst.
Yeah, I guess we were supposed to watch Joe Namath play into his 50s. Really?
Yeah,
It's the same thing?
He was great on the
Dude,
Rams.
I have to
Really?
piss. So I can't.
I can't even breathe. I'm really
Can we
bad.
pause and just piss real quick and finish this?
If Rosie's in the bathroom, tell me how
you
big
know what?
her cock is.
Yeah, it's probably a nice. Can we just run and piss?
It's not a
Come
bad
back in
idea.
minute?
Yeah,
We got a little more from
Take a
Rosie
break.
after
Yeah.
the break, and Nick Cannon's first day, Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes, Haiti. I don't know. Stay there. All right, back to the Rosie audio, talking about Leno and Conan, and of course making it about herself.
Does anybody understand, too, that Letterman has a bitterness towards Leno, I'm sure, because of what happened. But here's another reason Letterman may love the fact that Conan's there. He's beating him by 2 million people.
Yeah.
Of course. Who would want the guy that was number one come? That's why everybody in late night wants Leno to fucking make like a tree and leave. Because he was dominating the entire scene at a very, very tough time to dominate the entire scene. All due respect to Carson, he never had to deal with a guy of Letterman status across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the selfish comment just went right through all of us. Rich in Florida about the selfish comment. Rich?
Yeah, I got a question. They talk about selfish, and the only time I listen to watch Leno is when Jimmy's on it. So I don't really care about either one of them. But, hell, if anybody's selfish, it's damn Conan O'Brien. He had a great job in New York City. His kids were there. His wife's there. They're doing great. What does he do? He moves his family out to Los Angeles just so he can be an 11:35 slot.
I'll be dipped in shit.
And again, I understand why Conan would want to do that.
Of course,
but if you want to play that angle, you got to play it both ways. Like you said, why didn't Jay just go do something else like that idiot Dan said? Why didn't Conan just go, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're both successful. Let's just keep riding this for another couple of years.
Yeah. And Pat in Cleveland, if Leno was so big, he should have told NBC to fuck off when they told him they were going to move him. In the end, Leno didn't have a choice.
But why would you?
His contract was up. Leno had no fucking choice.
Oh, he
And then-
means at 10 o'clock.
And Jimmy's so biased. This is what this guy's saying. Jimmy's so biased. Leno's cheesy, even if he's number one. Set up, punchline, symbols, zing.
Yeah, how unhip to do setup and punchlines. Yeah, that's terrible for a late night comic. Setup and punchlines. What is that asshole thinking?
But see,
yeah, no, that's that hip thinking. Yo, man, don't do punchlines, man. Shut up, stupid. Setup and punchline. He's a late night comic. That's what he does.
Look, it might not be your cup of tea, but that's what was working for Leno to make him number one.
No, this guy's right. Fuck Leno. Set up punchline.
That means
why would he do that?
That means you're not watching, which is fine. But in the end, he was number one.
Nah, Jay should stare ahead ironically and nervously fidget during the, because a joke doesn't work. That's what he should do. Don't do set up punchline with brilliant joke writers. That's silly.
And then hit a gong. Change it up and just hit a gong after every punchline. Well, let's get back to the Rosie audio before we run out of time today.
Well, not only that, when they tell you 6 years ago, like, they have to tell. They told Joe Namath at one point, guess what? We're going to have another quarterback. Mm-hmm. But wait a minute. I'm the guy that threw that pass, huh? I'm the one who said we were going to win when nobody thought we could.
Could someone fucking send fucking Rosie O'Donnell footage of Joe Namath at the end of his career? It's so different. Joe Namath could barely walk.
Yeah.
He could barely walk. What are you talking about, fatso? It's totally different.
Yeah, nice analogy.
What, Michael Jordan was supposed to play well into his 40s and 50s? Really?
Actually, she was supposed to take over for Jordan on some of the games. But Jordan said no.
Yeah, Jordan didn't want to travel to Cleveland anymore, so he offered Rosie that gig.
Yeah, Rosie was going to
Rosie, you're going to be the starting guard for the Bulls.
So
because I don't want to go to cold Cleveland in the winter.
You know what? I guess Rosie's right. And Jordan was selfish for wanting to play as long as he did. Did the Chicago Bulls squeeze Michael Jordan out? He left when he was ready to leave. Did the fucking Bulls, you want to use sports analogies, stupid ass, did the fucking, how about Jeter? Hey, Jeter's been playing for a while. Here's what the Yankees should do.
Oh, yeah.
Derek, regardless of your stats, by the end of next year, we're putting this other guy who's a good player in your position. They didn't do that, Rosie, so why don't you use that analogy?
That's what I hear Rosie's taking over.
Well, Rosie's, obviously just not informed.
She's
if she was
not.
going with the freaking quarterback analogy, she would have had a little. She would have done better with the Brett Favre thing that kind of happened.
Quarterbacks.
Brett Favre really didn't want to retire, and he found another place to go.
Quarterbacks leave when they're usually no longer effective. Usually the athletes are the ones who don't want to leave, and they're no longer effective.
The stronger athlete.
Jay's an effective guy. That's a terrible analogy.
It's horrendous.
We were going to win when nobody thought we could, and then we did. I know, but guess what? You're too old now, and we're done with you. And really, football's not about you, Joe Namath. Really, it's football, and we got to get a new guy in. He's better. It's all right.
Yeah.
This is college radio. Who the fuck hired her? Holy
Really is.
shit, this is stupid. Oh, we did?
Does she not?
Pleasantries, Anthony. Nothing but pleasantries.
Pleasantries.
Oh, she's just using.
Pleasantries. I'm a
Pleasantries.
company guy.
Pleasantries.
Good for you.
So all you people that are bashing Leno, congratulations. This is the mentality you agree with. This blithering fat monster saying that Jay was selfish for not wanting to split 20% of the pie, as it were,
Please
with
get
her.
Please get me Joe Namath's stats at the end of his career. It's going to be laughable.
No, that's a very accurate thing. That's a
It's going
great
to be
thing.
laughable.
Because the Yankees did say to Jeter, you got to leave.
Because you're still ignoring, Rosie, the fact that he was still on the top of his game, this Jay Leno.
How about this sports analogy, Rose? They let Joe Torre, as the Yankee manager, not win for 7 years before they finally cut him. They didn't cut him. Did they walk up to Joe Torre during his third World Series and go, regardless of what happens in 2 years, you got to step down, Joe. You're too old. We want to bring in Joe Girardi.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
All right, Ann, what year you want to go with? 1973. Is this his thing? 1973, Joe Namath was... where are we looking? What do I want to do here? in 73, how many games he played? 6, I guess. He had 5 touchdown passes in 73. 74, he played in, where am I at? All right, 14 games, and he had 20 touchdowns. 1975, getting a bit older. Is that the team record, too? The 3-10 and all that? Or that was his record in the games?
Team record.
Okay, team record in games he started. All right, that's key to this. So 73, the team was 2-3 when Namath was in. 74, he was 7-7. 75, his team was 3-10. 76, he was 1-7. In 1977, he was 2 wins, 2 losses. He got to play when he probably shouldn't be playing anymore.
Yeah.
That's why Joe Namath left, if you want to do an accurate sports analogy.
And Namath went to the Rams, let's not forget, in 1977 for one final shot at it. He went 2 for 2, and he had 3 touchdowns.
He's selfish. He's selfish. He took somebody else's spot.
So way to go.
Oh.
Way to go with your comparisons, fatso.
No, you know what? Rosie's right. You know, by the way, here's what Jeter should do.
And by the way, that was easy to do before you're doing your dumb sports analogy. You look up the stats before you go with it. But you're probably just another lazy radio host that'll get nothing done.
Jeter should give up, out of 162 games, 20% of his games to another guy at shortstop. So Jeter should not do 34 Yankee games just to be nice to another guy.
Of course.
Right.
Good call, Rosie.
And we got to get a new guy in. He's better. It's all right.
Yeah.
This is how it works. Now go on and do something else.
Well, so few people know when to walk away or have the courage or strength that it does take to walk away.
Who is that
But, you know,
lover
Leno
she
had
has
6
with her?
years.
What is that?
Who is that annoying-voiced woman?
I think they gave one of Rosie's skin tags like the hosting gig. It's Rosie and one of her skin tags. It's so large. They said, you know what? Do the show with Rosie. You're with her all the time.
One that's usually hidden under a flap of fat.
It's the first time it's ever happened in radio. Rosie and a skin tag are doing a radio show.
Way.
But, you know, Leno had 6 years to deal with it. 6 years to get yourself a new gig. 6 years to figure out what you and your wife are going to do at 60 years old. Mm-hmm. At what age is he going to say, finally, I'm done? And then
I don't know, maybe when he's not number one anymore?
When he wants
Let's
to be
keep going
done.
back to when he's not number one anymore.
Maybe she should have said that to fucking, Uncle Milty or Bob Hope. People that were still, fucking crawling out on stage
Extremely relevant.
in their 90s and 100.
Yeah.
And,
What
getting
about
out
George
there.
Burns?
Yeah, what about George Burns?
When was
There
he
you go.
supposed to retire?
George Burns. What about George Burns? He should have thought of it.
How about Dick Clark? Why are none of these brave souls challenging
perfect.
Dick Clark? Dick Clark And I admire the flip.
Well, that's...
All kidding aside, the guy has balls. Why are none of these people saying, step down, Dick?
If she was saying that about Dick Clark, I'd be right there with her.
Why isn't she?
Now that's selfish, and now that's taking up space.
No, that's courageous. That's courageous. That's not selfish.
You know what? Although maybe not. Got to keep it honest in the show. Fucking Dick Clark was #1 by far with that train wreck.
All I want to do is take that rodeo diner and a big fucking tight cunt, motherfucker.
And then do some weird counting thing, and whatever.
Well, why isn't Dick Clark being criticized? He's praised for being.
She should have criticized. Oh, here comes the.
Thank you, Ryan. She should shut her fat fucking hole.
I'm fucking taping this today. I've had it with this shit.
What?
With this
lumpy
lump of shit walking down the hall and giving us a look every day.
Curb your appetite. Look at him.
So why doesn't... I want to know why. And again, Dick Clark shouldn't be criticized.
Yeah.
But it's like that crazy inconsistency, man. It makes me sick.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. You make a very, very good point.
To call Jay selfish is unbelievably silly.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get back to the...
Is he going to say, finally, I'm done? And then what's going to have happen to Conan's chance? Or to, I don't know. I think it's just unbelievably shitty of him, right? Mm-hmm. And so Conan basically says what he says. Basically, I'm not going. And you're going to have to pay me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, good for him, man. We have the same agent, by the way. Ari Emanuel. Way to go, Ari.
Now it makes sense.
They have the same agent.
No one would say, okay, I'm just going to leave. They would all go for the payout, by the way, Rosie. You know how that shit works. Every single person in entertainment would go for the payout. All right, we're almost done with the Rosie audio.
But the truth is, I was not surprised. I got news for you. When it's the Rosie O'Donnell show or the Jay Leno show, Jay Leno and Rosie O'Donnell understand what's going on with the program. Right. So here he's acting on his show like, so I don't know what's happening. It's crazy. Conan's a good guy. I don't know what's happening. I know what's happening. Yeah. You are water skiing, and you fell, and you refused to let go of the tow rope.
Yeah.
And you're getting hit in the face with the waves, and you're wondering why people aren't cheering for you.
Yeah, see that?
Why
of course, the fucking whale used the ocean analogy. But let me correct Rosie again. He didn't fall off the jet ski, stupid. He was knocked off while he was still jet skiing better than anybody else. And you're mad that he didn't want your fat fucking ass on his jet ski, dragging him underwater while he was trying to stay afloat. So for 12 years, he jet skied successfully. And he was the best jet skier. They knocked him off. And you know what? The guy behind him wasn't jet skiing as well. So they gave Jay back the jet skis. Stop using shitty, easy to destroy analogies.
I think it was water skis.
No. Were they really? What's the difference?
For what?
Whatever it is. She should say, you want to use an accurate thing, Rosie?
But
so Jay's diving with barnacles on it like I do, and he's coming up for oxygen because we are mammals.
More importantly, we now know who she's doing the radio show with. A piece of plankton that is attached to her fucking
Some
whale
krill.
Body. A krill. A piece of krill would be better.
Fucking Rosie and krill.
Rosie and krill in the morning. Rosie and skin tag.
And krill.
I like the skin tag one better. Could someone animate that for me? Coke Logic, please. Rosie doing her show with one of her skin tags.
Rosie strains the krill through her baleen.
Well, you're not even skiing, Jay. You're just desperately holding on to the tow rope, man. Let go. Mm-hmm. Let go.
Holy shit.
Jay, let go. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing.
The Leno fucking impression's not working, Rosie. Is anyone giving you feedback on your show? Enough. Stupid. Stupid.
I don't know what they're doing to Conan or to Jimmy. Sound good guys. I love him a lot. Real good guys. Just like he didn't know what happened to me. I don't know what happened there. I know what happened, Jay. I said in Vegas. Brandon told me, you don't want me to do Fridays. You.
Yes.
And then I even said I'll do once a month. No. He didn't want the competition. If he really feels that he's still got the goods, like Evander Holyfield.
Right, yeah.
And then get in the freaking ring, man. And here's cocky-ass Leno going, they fired me when I was number one. Yeah, you were number one because of your lead-in. And your lead-in was strong, and NBC was unbeatable. And if Letterman had that kind of lead-in, he would kick your ass, too.
Letterman had writers, and Jay didn't have them, and he won. Jesus, shut your face.
She is.
Yeah, the whole strike. Leno did his show without writers.
Without writers.
How about you bring that up, Rosie? If you're bringing all this stuff onto the table,
she has a fucking axe.
Maybe because she ate that
Leno.
part of what was on the table.
Jay rejected you.
She obviously has a problem with Leno.
Jay rejected you. He didn't want you, and he succeeded tremendously without you.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. and he's good at what he does, and he was #1 for a long time.
Go invest in another bomb fruit play from on Broadway, dummy.
What'd she do?
I hope you lost all your fucking money on that.
Did she
one.
have a bad play?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the Boy George thing, right?
Boy George
Think of some
fucking
weird
thing.
Boy George
She
play.
thought it was going to be a big hit, that everybody would want to go run and see the Boy George fucking story on Broadway. You fucking out of touch dummy.
And if Letterman had that kind of lead, and he would kick your ass too, right? And Conan had no chance to kick anyone's ass.
Right.
Why? His lead-in sucked. It was Jay Leno.
So wait, did
it's
Jay
the
have a
local
chance to
news.
kick people's asses then? How come Conan didn't have a chance, but Jay did?
Yeah.
Ugh,
What happened?
fucking can't stand her. Phony, you
Really
phony.
is going off like just a
One more clip.
fucking idiot.
And you know what? The people that work with Leno love him, and I've been around it enough. Everybody around this guy is in a great mood.
Not
Because he
Rosie.
takes care of his fucking people. He's good to his staff. Everybody who works with him, the writers, the producers, they're all nice.
I can't believe she's pissed because he didn't want to give up part of his show to her.
That miserable fucking lech is
Yeah.
mad at him, and yet everybody he works with, and I've done the show. When I first started, you know what he does? He comes in and he talks to you.
Yeah.
And he makes you feel better and relaxed and welcome.
Fucking engorged tick.
And Dave puts you in a meat locker, makes you freezing,
Yeah.
and then walk
Yeah.
out on that stage, and you don't even get to meet the guy ahead of time.
Letterman's a weird guy, but it
I
works
love
for him.
Letterman.
It does
but
work
Jesus
for him.
Christ.
Yeah, it works for him. It does.
Way to get the upper hand. Put your guests in a meat locker, let them freeze their asses off. Their lips are blue, and then you go out there and meet them for the first time.
How come she doesn't say Dave is selfish for wanting to compete against Conan and not Letterman?
Yeah, let's get a Mark in Cleveland.
I mean, not Leno.
Marky!
Hey, boys, how you doing?
Hi, Mark.
Marky Mark.
You know, listen to this fucking whale cunt. It's absolutely fucking driving.
Dude, I'm
me
just
crazy.
expressing my opinion.
Oh,
Oh, her. I'm sorry.
You got to remember,
Jimmy.
she's part of the whole fucking rebranding process that Zucker started this nonsense, where she was going to do that fucking variety show at least 1 or 2 nights out of the fucking week on NBC, and it bombed. They had it like over Thanksgiving, like
Yep.
a year or two ago, and she fucking bottomed out, and Conan only ended up with the NBC gig. You can go back to 2004 and find the articles where NBC was catching all this shit because the demographic was so old compared to The Daily Show and all these other cable hits that they were getting. Entertainment Weekly were writing about. So fucking Zucker turns around. He's like, oh, we got to skew younger because Jay and Dave are too old. So he shows Jay the door when Jay wasn't ready to fucking leave. It's absolutely stupid, and these people who are apologizing for Conan and whatnot have no goddamn clue as to why this whole thing bottomed out the way it did.
I forgot about her bomb of a show. You're right. Yeah, exactly. Whose fault was that, Rosie? That your show fucking your show Enola Gay? Is that whose fault is that? How is that Jay's fault?
Oh, it had nothing to do with Jay. It was because no one fucking likes her. You know, I don't want to make it political, but you look at Zucker, you look at the whole NBC issue, that's what the fucking core of it was. It was this whole, we have to be the fucking Daily Show. Who the fuck cares?
But do you
Who needs that
understand
demographic?
what a great move he made by not having that fucking albatross around his neck on Fridays? Because when she got her primetime shot, right, she really bombed.
Absolutely.
And she had Liza Minnelli on, I think, right? She bombed monumentally. So what do you think she would have done every Friday? She would have made his show fucking fall into the toilet.
Bucket of shit.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I totally forgot.
Yeah, right on, bro.
Her
Mark in
tanking.
Cleveland, good call. Yeah, and her career is so bad, she's got to do a radio show.
From her house. Boy, yeah, Jay sucks. Getting up and going to work every day and wanting to be a fucking workaholic. He should just sit on his fat ass at home and make them film the Tonight Show or Jay Leno show in his apartment.
Yeah.
You fucking dope.
Last clip from Rosie, and we can move on.
And kiss each
Finally.
other like men.
It's like Jay Leno was some devious, evil plotter, you know? They tell him 6 years ago, by the way, we're going to get a new guy to drive the bus. Enjoy the 6 years.
stop
We've
at
paid
the
you a
bus.
god-awful amount of money. He has enough money to never, ever worry again about
So do
anything.
you.
So do you,
So do
stupid
you.
Rosie. So do you.
How about you?
So do you.
So do you. So,
So
why are you
just
doing a radio
disappear.
show?
So why don't you disappear?
Stop
It's impossible.
talking.
That would be impossible.
Actually, yeah.
Stop looking for attention. Why do you have to do radio? Why don't you just call it in? There's plenty of hungry radio guys who would love your spot. I'm having such a hard time here getting a certain amount of money. Why don't you, Rosie, why don't you selflessly step aside and allow me to collect the money that they're giving to you?
Ooh, I would like that.
How about that, Rosie? Show some selflessness.
Worry again about anything. Not enough for him. It's not
Right.
enough.
That's the point. You've got it.
Oh,
Go
the
do
skin tag
something
is talking.
else.
Right, but instead, not
Was she on
only
the phone?
did he say no, he like plotted how he could do this. And, you know, I'm going to go somewhere else unless you keep me on NBC and those idiots.
Yeah.
Who the hell is it, Zucker? Is that who it is?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
I don't know. He's not long for that job, I can tell you right now.
Really?
Yeah.
He's really nuts.
I think when somebody puts your feet to the fire and they say, if I don't get this, that's when you're right.
Why the hell they would listen to him?
Feet to the fire?
The guy,
like they do with Rosie when there's an apple in her mouth?
30 minutes of lame-ass comedy up front.
Yeah.
Lame. Most of it that he takes from Howard Stern. I hate to say that, but
here we go. Another person that feels like they have to fucking lick Howard's ass to do a radio show.
Didn't he call you a big fat pumpkin head years ago?
Fatso.
Didn't Howard call her a big fat pumpkin head
now I know what
years
this is
ago?
about. You got to kiss Howard's ass to do a radio show.
She thinks that Jay's writers are stealing from anybody. Come on,
Howard's all over the thing.
It.
Howard hates Jay, and he's been pounding Jay, so I guess Rosie feels like
they don't like each other. Fair enough.
I better follow suit and do what Howard does, because that's how you get successful with a radio show. You fucking kiss Howard's ass.
Give me some old clips of Howard, what he used to say about Rosie during her fucking daytime show. Oh, the stuff he would say about her.
Didn't he march right to her fucking studio one time to confront her?
I think that was even after the fact. I mean, just early on when she started making the scene, he would insult her weight, her big fat head, her adopted kids. Like, he would pound her.
What a fucking
And now
phony.
what? Because she's working under the serious moniker, she's got to fucking be like everybody else and kiss the ring? Come on, man. Oh, she's an embarrassment. She is a big fat embarrassment.
And her show is not compelling.
No.
It's of lame-ass comedy up front. Lame. Most of it that he takes from Howard Stern. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
Oh, he does.
He does. He steals all the
Skin
shit
tag.
from Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Howard Stern has really funny ideas about, like the jaywalking, his idea. I don't know. It's Howard
Incidentally,
Stern.
A man on the street interview? Holy shit.
By the way, Steve Allen started that with a giant microphone. If you really want to talk about the man on the street shit.
I believe, and again, I don't know when jaywalking started, but I think that was before Howard did his thing. I don't even know which thing she's referring to with Howard, but I remember Stuttering John got some shit for posting something on Facebook that said jaywalking was on first. So somebody else may know the details of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't actually know it, so I can't pretend I do.
His idea. I don't know. It's Howard Stern, frankly. He doesn't have an original concept. And then when you go on that show, for the first few years, I didn't do it. And then I did it when I had something to promote.
brave.
And he wouldn't even look. He doesn't look.
Why did she? Why?
Oh, my God.
Why? It's a failure.
Hey, selfish! Why not go on Letterman, who had a better show? Why not, selfish?
No, you just heard what you said. I didn't do his show, but then says, well, when I was promoting something. But that's the only time most people do the late night shows is when they're promoting something.
No, but selfish, why did you go on his show? Why not show a little fucking loyalty and go on Conan's show later? Or Dave across the street, who you obviously like better? You fucking phony. Why'd you smile in Jay's face? He's the plotter. Maybe you were plotting to fucking promote your shit project, so you went on the biggest show.
And someone is reminding us, Keith, actually, Niagara Falls, he had a fucking Rosie puppet. Did he?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Rosie puppet. Yeah. He would pound her.
I'm sorry I'm yelling.
And Dog Shit Sniffer from Woodside, the Dog Shit Sniffer.
It's not his real name.
No, that's the real one. There's some imitators out there.
Oh, okay.
I have a whole new look on the skin tag on my asshole. It's my new buddy.
It's your sidekick.
For the first few years, I didn't do it. And then I did it when I had something to promote. And, he wouldn't even look. He doesn't look you in the eye when he asks the question. And it's not because I'm so good. I'm just telling you, these are the realities that you're not allowed to sort of get around just by saying, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Jay, and you know what? You're 60 years old. You should have learned it by now. Sharing is caring. And everybody has to retire.
Why don't you, Rosie?
Yeah.
Then leave.
Yeah, there's radio guys that would love your spot.
How about you fucking retire?
A lot of radio guys that have way more experience than you that are not working right now. So why don't you do the right thing? You're pushing what? How old is she?
500 pounds. Oh,
She's got to be
age.
55 years old at least. She has to be.
Maybe
pushing
50.
a fucking catapult.
So why don't you step aside? There's a lot of guys that are starving that would love your spot.
This is why she's
have
so
a hell of a
hateable.
lot more experience in radio.
You actually said that you thought Jay screwed you. So Jay actually called her to talk about it. Like he'll call comics who badmouth him. Jay is an upfront guy. He's not a phony who hides behind a bunch of people. He'll pick up the phone and call somebody personally to go, what's going on? Why are you saying that stuff? He calls people out. So you didn't like Leno. He didn't want you on his show for Fridays. And why would you fucking whore yourself, Miss Integrity, and go on his show?
Sharing is caring, unless it's a cake.
She didn't. Why didn't she just go on Letterman's show?
Yeah.
Why would you go on Jay's show if you hate him so much? Miss, I have some integrity and some honesty.
All right, let's say the other side of this, which is fine.
All right.
Noel, or Noel.
Hello, Christmas.
In Massachusetts, born in December, I'm assuming. Yes, Noel, how are you?
It's Noel, but who gives a fuck, right?
Who gives a fuck?
Check this out. Jimmy, I love you.
Thank you. End of discussion. All right, go ahead.
No, it's not the end of discussion. You got Jay Leno's cock so far down your throat, it's crazy. What are you going to say stuff about me now because I don't like Jay Leno?
Not at all. Dude, listen to me. I don't mind hearing bad things. Hold
I
on.
want people to hear you, though. The anger. You're going to attack me.
No, I'm not.
Really hard.
What
And
I'm angry at, dude, is not...
I can't wait, Jimmy. Shut up and let me talk, Jimmy.
I'm not angry at people not liking Leno. What I'm angry at is people spitting out facts incorrectly. Like, if someone calls up and they go, Conan's funny, Leno sucks, that's a comedy opinion. You're allowed to have that. The guy just wants me to yell at him. Dude, I'm not going to yell at you. My frustration is not with listeners. It's with Rosie and people in the business. That is the inconsistency.
You're going to act all calm now because of what I said, Jimmy. You're going to pretend that everything is cool
Jimmy.
and that you
He's
don't
got you.
care.
What position are you taking on the Conan Leno thing and why?
Excuse me? Jimmy, I don't know Jay Leno, Conan, nothing, but I know O&A show, and I listen to you every morning.
As you
and
should.
I can hear the anger in your voice every time somebody, a clip, or somebody calls in and they don't like Jay Leno. You just go fucking crazy.
Have I gone crazy over people not liking Leno or over people reporting things inaccurately?
Off the show, when he kicks you off the show, Jimmy, which I hope he doesn't because I fucking love you. When he does, everybody remember this. You're going to hear Jimmy Norton talking so much fucking shit about Jay Leno.
You know
Not
what?
true, dude.
I got to tell you, Noel, I don't think he'll...
I'm a loyal dude.
Yeah, I really don't think he would. I really don't.
I'm a loyal guy.
I really don't think he would.
When Opie and Anthony were off the air for
fairness-
26 months, I didn't talk shit. I didn't go on certain radio shows at the risk of not promoting shows. So don't tell me what I would do, brother.
I think Jay has been so good to Jimmy. If, let's say, Jay goes back to 11:30, God forbid there's not a spot for Jimmy, I don't think Jimmy comes back
Never.
on our show and trashes Jay. I really don't know.